The walls of Constitutional Hill tower above me, scarred with history yet alive with color. On Sam Hancock Street, Braamfontein, Johannesburg, the murals of South Africa's struggle stalwarts stare down, reminding us of the voices that refused to be silenced. This is not just a wall, it's a living memory. A reminder that art has always been a weapon of resistance, a source of healing and a tool of transformation. It is here at the historic Transverg Studios, once a hospital for political prisoners and now a hub for creativity. This is where I meet a man who embodies that very spirit. Tshepang Ramoba, a seasoned musician, percussionist, and a cultural force. His music carries the weight of African struggles and the hope of upliftment. Spiritual yet rooted, his sound bridges the pain of yesterday with the possibilities of tomorrow. Today, Tshepang opens a different chapter of his struggle. Not the fight against apartheid, but the battle against invisibility in the digital age. For many artists, the stage is no longer just a physical platform. It is an algorithm, a stream, a playlist. And while the paint on these walls honors freedom fighters, Tshepang is here to guide a new generation of musicians to fight for their visibility, relevance, and survival in the digital space. As the Johannesburg sun hits the murals, casting long shadows across the walls, I step into the space with anticipation. Behind these doors lies more than just a conversation. It's an education, a revelation for African musicians navigating the fast-changing digital frontier. And so, from the echoes of the struggle of the rhythms of resistance, let's enter the Transverg Studios and sit down with the best, the one who's doing the most. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Tshepang Ramoba.
And what Spotify does, they market these playlists. And right now, I was showing Thokozani for the past 7 days. There's a song of mine that did 3,000 streams. These 3,000 streams come from about 10 playlists, which is 3 is Spotify playlists and 2 is algorithm playlist, and then the rest is people's playlist. So just those playlists generated the streams, and I was trying to check, do I have like streams that were generated by myself for that song? There were none, because how I generate the streams is I post it to somebody and somebody clicks on the link. Right, for that song it was like none at all. So algorithm playlists are the playlists that you get from you pushing the song prior to the release. So not 2 weeks ago, I got a link. So when you do your release and upload your songs, you ask for the link, pre-save, pre-add link. You pre-save, your pre-add link. When you get it, what I do, this is what I do. I go to my mother and say, Mama, can you please pre-save? I go to my wife, please pre-save. I go to my friends, please, please, please. Some of them I'm like, can you please, your phone? And then I do it myself. Pre-save, pre-save. And then obviously social media. And if you have that 200, you can kind of do an ad of the pre-save. Click on the link to pre-save. And you click on the link, you pre-save. And then that pre-save, if a lot of people are pre-saving, it shows, it's a good sign to the DSPs that this guy is pushing it. But now they're thinking, no, this guy must be working with management, label, or something. It's not him. So they're like, okay, so now it means it's all good. Remember, some things are made by algorithms. Some things are made by computers, by AI, by all those things. So they just set it up like that. They don't say, Mara, what if it's just an artist uploading? No, they made it like that already. They say, remember, they work with formulas a lot. So they say, no, if a person is uploading a lot of information, if a person is pushing the song, the algorithms already say, no, he works with an indie label or whatever. And they say, okay, now the algorithms will put him on release radar. We'll put him on maybe new music, what is it called, New Music Friday or something like that. So the most important thing is to get those playlists on that day. Music radar, they can put anyone, which is if you're an indie artist, or they can put you there, as long as you did all that work. As if I don't do that work, the algorithms don't give me that. It doesn't even, they don't care about me at Spotify, they care about Beyonce. So when that thing comes, it doesn't even go to them, it just automatically happens. Because they don't care, I don't care about these small artists. So that's the most important thing for me in terms of releasing. And then when you're releasing more than a song, let's say you're releasing an album. So I've tried this for an artist, a pianist in Germany. And you know, his music is also like very difficult. So what I did, he had 12 songs. So and he's unknown at all, like he's not known. It's just a love project. So he gave it to me, he was like, Tshepang, tell me what you need and do this thing. I released the 12 songs in a year, for a year. I uploaded everything. And then there are distribution channels that allow you to put the strategy. They ask you, do you want to do this strategy or not? So if you choose the strategy, what you can do is that all those 12 songs, you can release them like maybe monthly. Like one song, you choose the date, one song every Friday, one song, but you need to be on point, because every time after 2 weeks of the other song, when it's out, you can't apply for, you can't pitch if the previous song is not out yet. So you have to wait for song number 2 to release, and then now you can pitch for song number 3, and then you pitch again. So now what happens with the algorithms? Every month this guy is pitching. This guy is serious. You know, he has an indie label. So by the 5th, 6th song, there's a song Yana on a nice playlist, a nice Apple Music playlist, you know, and then you get streams. By the time you do the 7th one, maybe they'll give you even 2 playlists. Sometimes they even make up a playlist for you if you're playing like difficult music. And by the time you get to the 12th song, the album becomes one. So what happens is that if you release 4 songs, you can only see the 4 songs. The 6 songs, you can't click on them. You can see them, but you can't click on them. So you get one to appear every month on the DSPs. So that's another strategy that I saw that works. I've done it with my EP as well, but I did every week. I released the songs every week, and when I release them, I also release them with like visuals. What do they call them these days? Visualizer. Yes. So it's also good to have an amazing visualizer. So every song I'll release it with its own visualizer and its own story. And you know, people have their own way of doing things. Sometimes people work with concepts. Like I have a song with Blackjacks. We always used to come with concepts, and it will take time because we want the deepest concept or whatever. Right now, I just do the thing and ask Stella here, Stella, hey, I'm doing this thing, man, can you please help? Stella will come up with, you know, a concept, and then on the day of the release, I release that video. And also, that video, I use it for Canva. I don't know if you guys know Canva. So every time you play an Apple Music or Spotify, if you play a song there, there's a video playing, like repeating like that. That's another thing that helps the algorithms to have you out there. So I hope I'm not forgetting anything. If you guys have questions, any questions? Yeah. And does anybody need water?
Yeah, there's water, there's fruits. If you need fruits, we'll take around 5 patients. Then then we'll answer, and then after answering, we'll take another round. That's 1. 2.
Okay.
4.
Okay. My question to you is a long time. So that group is still operating even now?
I mean, there's an EP that I'm uploading now, but it's not a new EP. It's an EP that was released all over the world except Africa. Before there was Spotify and Apple Music Africa. So we're gonna release it next week. And by the way, I'm gonna guess we're still around because we did a tour last year. We did a European tour last year. Yeah.
Wow. No.
Yeah.
I heard you mentioning MySpace. Can you please explain exactly what MySpace is and how it helped you in terms of getting into the industry? Another question would be, you've mentioned a lot of connections, you know, in terms of growth. Is it possible as an independent artist to make it without connections, but just what you've mentioned in terms of Spotify? Is it possible to make it with distribution only without connections, or do you really need to have connections in order to make it?
Yeah, also, I don't know what's your perception of making it, but you can make it without the connections. Yes, you can. Because remember, when we were Blackjacks, we were just young boys in a bedroom. We didn't have any connections at all. So we got there, and then we got connections when we got there. And then to answer you about MySpace, I think MySpace is no more, ne? Yeah. So what helped us with MySpace also is that we were on MySpace at the right time, because there was not a lot of people on MySpace, especially Africans. So we used to have a very, very, very slow computer. And we used to go to another hood to go to a internet cafe to get emails. We used to subscribe to a lot of emails that have to do with tech, music, you know. So when we saw MySpace, we found it and we were like, let's upload a song here. And I'm guessing because the world always wants Africa. We're always fishing for anything in Africa. So I guess because they found music in Africa and then it happened to be African psychedelic music, you know, and it was interesting. So I think that's how it managed to pick up, because we got a lot of messages. So we used to go every weekend to go check messages there. You see, so our computer will check email, but MySpace we have to go to the internet cafe to go check these messages, and we get messages from people. This music, and it's always like people from wherever. And sometimes they'll come to the show and say, "Hey, I first heard you on MySpace," which was a very cool thing, you know. Yeah. So to answer your question, yeah, I think we were there at the right time because there was nothing African, you know. I mean, when we were on MySpace, and from MySpace, I remember that same song, when we released it ourselves, the same song was number 4 in the world charts, you know? And they put it on, what's the thing that does the world chart? It's Billboard, eh? Yeah, Billboard. They put it on a Billboard magazine. And then Sony called us. Hey, we need to have a meeting. How did you get to get what I mean? So it really helps. I think social media now, well, as I said, my music is not like a commercial, so people that my target market, they don't really like Facebook. So with the Blackjacks, my target market, they're like a Twitter type people. If MySpace was still around, they would be on MySpace. My target market love, with Blackjacks, we make the most money in selling vinyls. So when we go on tour, we have bags and bags of vinyls. And those vinyls, you know, yeah, they sell out. So you get a band like Blackjacks having 2,000 followers on Twitter, and those 2,000 followers are the 2,000 fans that you really need, and that's kind of all you need to actually make it financially, because if 2,000 people buy those vinyls, and remember we're still selling the vinyls in stores, you know, so our people like, I don't want to say cool things, but they don't like the normal stuff. So we also need to be familiar with Bandcamp, for instance. Our people love Bandcamp because at Bandcamp they can listen for free, but if they want, they can put $20 there or even $100 for one song. You know what I mean? So we know that, no, this is a Blackjack t-shirt, by the way. They love merchandise, and they know they can buy it online on Bandcamp. On Bandcamp, you can buy music, you can buy vinyls, you can buy t-shirts. So, yeah, I hope I answered you. Yeah.
Your network is your community. So,
my question. I have released a CD last year. I ran a gospel, but it mixed with Bagama because that's where I come from. So I tried to apply it on Spotify. Yeah, and then I asked people that they do know social media and whatsoever, the best way that I can. So when I go to people, I don't know whether maybe they don't understand what is happening there, because somebody can say to you, no, you can bring it, I will help you, I will just upload everything. When you go there only to find out that person can't even do whatever that you ask them to do. So I've got that problem of uploading my music. You know. It's not on Spotify, it's not on Apple, it's not anywhere. Because I failed to get the right person who will help me to upload. So it's just sitting there and whatever.
Okay. So what's the question?
No, the question is how to upload it in maybe an easy way, or maybe
an easy way. Yeah, hey, there's no easy way. Then every time I have to upload, I hesitate because it's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot. There is a lady that rehearses here. So this is also like a rehearsal space for artists. So because she likes rehearsing a lot and she says she can't pay all the time. So I always ask her to, we barter, you know. So she rehearses and then I'm like, hey, can you help me with the uploading? You know, so I showed her how to do it, and then she's like, "No, I love admin. I can, you know." So you can, like, kind of have like make an appointment when we can meet, and then ask her to upload for you, basically. Yeah. Sure.
Music in South Africa. So, which ones are the most important to register with to track your music for in order to get royalties? And is it possible again to register with international organizations as well and get royalties from international organizations, since you're an international artist?
So they're all important. So they all do different things. So SAMRO deals with performance rights and mechanical rights. It deals with needle time. So needle time meaning I make a song right now, I composed it, and you are playing a keyboard on the song. But when the song plays in a club, you are still performing and playing keys. That's SAMRO. When a song is playing on TV, you are still performing. And then there's SAMPRA. You are still performing, and then you also get composition rights, right? You are the composer. There's SAMPRA. SAMPRA does it for radio only, right? And then there's CAPASSO. I use CAPASSO for broadcast rights. When the songs are playing in programs, there's a form that you download on their site, and then you fill in the forms, right? And I've seen that it's always better, with CAPASSO, it's always better to put yourself as a publisher.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, time is never enough. Like and subscribe, share this video, and see you next time.